Okay, I just had a conversation with myself. My phone cut off, but as I was saying, if east is on my left, that's east, that way. Now it's on my left. Still east on my right. When I draw it, facing south, but when I face this way, what was on my left will be on my right. Try it. That's on my right. If I'm facing south, that's west. I turn around, that's still west, but now it's on my left. West is on my left. So, south. What the problem is that I've drawn it on the same page. So I'm showing it flipped. And this is now west, and this is east. Now I'm going to circle this. Now remember, south is quite important because if you want to watch sun, moon, or planets rise and set with the stars, you look south. Why? We'll get to that. What about north? Something cool about north is this. Now remember, if I'm facing south, that's east. If stars are rising there and I turn around, now they're going to rise on my right. It's going to rise still in the east. But now I turn around to draw it for you, and I got to put it over here. And so what happens, of course, it's going to still rise over here, and that's tricky. On your picture, it's going to flip, so just get that. And then, of course, it's going to set over here. But the way the patterns go, as I showed you, and I'll come back to that, is that they actually, the dots, the patterns, will rise up, kind of circle around. And you're going, why? I don't know, I'm just watching. Just watching. And you'll see that they all circle around one star. Maybe you know what that star is. That is Polaris. The North Star, right? The End Star, North Star. And remember, review, each day it'll sink in. If you don't review, you're trying to stuff it in. That's not the way our brain works. You're stuffing it into short-term memory, whereas you want to scratch it into long-term memory. Paramagnitude is 2. A lot of people think it's the brightest star. It's the brightest star in that area, but you'll look at it, it's not that bright. There's just not a lot of other ones. They're all dim around here. In fact, it's the end of what we often say is the Little Dipper, if you want to do that. But it's pretty faint. You need a dark sky to really see that well. So it's kind of a lonely star, I'd say. But bright, no. I mean, Vega is 0, and Sirius, the brightest star, besides Sun, is negative 1.5 about. So it's not particularly bright, but it stands out. And there it is. Oh, by the way, but what about these stars? Notice that these stars, any stars around here, will never go below the horizon. They circle around Polaris, circumpolar stars. Know that. They circle around Polaris. Now, how high, we call it the altitude in chapter 2. How high above the horizon it is depends on where you are on Earth. In fact, you can use that to find your latitude, and we'll get to that in chapter 2. It played a huge role in history, a huge role in navigating the sea. If you wanted to go north, avoid slavery, etc., that was a guiding star for sure. Also let people like the Spanish conquistadors, etc., go down to South America and take over that place, right? So the course of human history, right? And humans taking over places. So that's the dark side of it. The light side of it is that. So there it is. That's what it looks like rising in the east. If I look south, that means it's going to come up from my left. If I turn around, it's still going to come up over there, but now it's going to come up from my right, and it's going to circle around this star. These are clues, and the answers will kind of be revealed. So I think I've got that here. Here in the Bay Area, we've got Mount Tam over here, kind of roughly, depends on where you are. And let me come back over here, take a look, and remember this nice little video. Let's see, it's going to rise in the east. So is east on my left or my right? Oop. Ah, go back. View. Colors. There it is. Rising on my left, now rising on my right. There's Polaris right there. Right? Okay. So I can tell. Still rising in the east, it's just now I'm facing north than before. Your eyes won't see all those stars. Your eyes will see a kind of lonely Polaris. But you will see other stars, right? Depends on their apparent magnitude. Okay, let's go on to streakers for 30 seconds and then planets, a bit interesting, and see how people thought about them and what they knew about them. And we will then go on to sun and how it's tied to seasons, and moon, and get to know its phases. Ciao.